Hey, it's about no, something like 9 a.m. Just finished work. That was our loco out there. Beautiful morning. It's Friday. What is it? It's Easter Friday. Good Friday. It's a good day to be alive, even with all the chaos that's going on in the world. Started this morning around 1 o'clock. Time to go home. Don't work again for about 4 or 5 days. Strange days indeed. We're still working, we're still hauling goods. The volume of freight we're moving is down by 50% because all the bulk stuff, the unnecessary non-food items like coal and logs and that sort of thing aren't being moved anymore. So I am working, and because of that I am riding my bike only to and from work. And I guess I kind of feel guilty about that. That all my moto brothers and sisters who can't ride at the moment because of the lockdown, the quarantine thing as they're calling it in the States, I thank you. I thank you for staying home, as hard as it is for you. And believe me, I'm not pleasure riding, I am commuting to and from work. And yes, it is on my bike and I do love it. So hopefully you'll come along with me for this ride home perhaps, and not feel too anti towards me. Bikers make for the best people. I know that there won't be too many people feeling anti towards me. Not amongst my circle of people in the YouTube world anyway. Access denied. We need to try again. Access gained. Got it that time. Doing it with gloves. The figures show that we've been 2 weeks in lockdown now. I think yesterday was 2 weeks, something like that. And for the last 4 days we've had a drop in the number of confirmed cases, down to, yesterday was something like 59 new cases, the lowest it's been since this whole debacle started. So our government and our Prime Minister Jacinda seem to be doing the right things, and of course they get criticised. Should have been done sooner, should have been done this. It's easy for people that aren't in the hot seat to criticise, isn't it? Eh? And we're lucky here, we're lucky we don't have a huge population. New Zealand's climbing up towards 5 million people, and we are surrounded by the Pacific Ocean and the Southern Ocean and the Tasman Sea. So we are an island nation, much like the UK, but with a much smaller population. Once the government closed the borders to anyone except New Zealand citizens returning, it gave them a good chance of getting on top of this whole thing. So we try and find things to do, don't we? We're trying to find things to do when we're stuck at home. I take the dogs out for a walk once a day. That combines their walk with my daily exercise. They say we're allowed to get out into the fresh air once a day in our local area. Don't go driving off to take your family to a walk on a beach 20 kilometres away like our health minister did. My goodness, he should be sacked for that. And Jacinda said that he would have been, except that they're too focused on the crisis at the moment, and we're all sticking to our bubbles and generally, it's people are doing it. They are doing it, and the figures are there now, looking promising. Initially, the lockdown was going to be for 4 weeks. The government is not saying yes or no as to whether we will drop back to level 3 after the 4 weeks. They're saying they're waiting to see what the figures are. And I hope like heck that it does drop back to level 3. I'm busting to see Mrs. V. I'm busting to see my new grandson that arrived a few days ago down in Hastings. My 2 daughters are down there. One went down to support the other. My oldest boy, his wife, and my little granddaughters are also staying with Mrs. V at the moment in a bubble down there. I'm keen to see them. And there's another grandchild due to arrive in a week or so. The term breeding like rabbits springs to mind. When the next one arrives, that'll be grandchild number 6. We need to keep doing this lockdown thing. New Zealand's got the best opportunity to not just flatten the curve, but squash it completely. Oh, for a holiday Friday, yeah, the old motorway's pretty darn empty, as it should be at the moment, I suppose, as it should be. Who knows what the future's going to hold, what the new normal will be. Nobody told me there'd be days like these. Side of this tunnel is an 80km speed, and they have an average speed camera over there, so I used to be somewhere within cooey of the speed limit. My youngest son, the 20-something-year-old, he's at university, but all the classes have closed. Things are doing online stuff. But he works part-time and has done for years as a caregiver for special needs people. And with some people that can't work and are off for one reason or another, he's basically working full-time there. Doing a lot of night shifts, working over the weekends and that, as he normally does. He tells me he was coming home the other day and was in an 80k zone of the motorway, the other side of this tunnel, heading back to the house, and he was going along at a fairly good clip apparently, and he saw a car come up behind him. He thought, oh, somebody wants to race. He thought, oh no, they're not coming alongside, and the car was staying with him, so he slowed down. The car slowed down with him. He thought, oh no, it's a cop. And sure enough, the flashing lights went on. The police officer pulled him over and said, do you know what speed I clocked you at? And my son was, no, actually I don't. He said it was a figure that really should have lost him his car for at least 28 days and instant loss of license. The policeman said, what do you think you're doing? Where are you going and where have you come from? He said, I'm going home from work. What sort of work do you do? I'm a caregiver for special needs people. What does that mean? So he showed him the letter from his employer, and the cop said something along the lines of, you know, I could have your car impounded now and your license taken away for at least 6 months. But I'm going to give you a verbal warning. Now get in your car, go home, and stop being an idiot. And I think that sums up what everybody's doing at the moment, is trying to help each other. Yes, he could have thrown the book at him, he could have not locked him up, but certainly locked his car up, and that costs hundreds of dollars to get back after the 28 days, because you've got to pay storage fees, towing fees, etc., etc. And he could have lost his license for 6 months. But that police officer saw that he was being legitimate. He was coming home from work. He was doing an essential service, an essential job. And man, he was so lucky. He was so lucky. I said, you should buy a lotto ticket, except that the lotto shops are closed. Oh, it's certainly a beautiful day. The air's quite clear. Does that have something to do with the fact that there's only 10% of the cars on the road as it normally is? well, you know, there might be a few good things come out of this whole exercise. Maybe we'll learn as a race, as a species, to be nicer to each other. All this nonsense going on, and there's still bloody wars being fought in various parts of the world. For goodness sake, we are the strangest animal. So when I'm walking the dogs, I see lots of people. So I've taken to, when I'm not working, I've taken to getting up at daybreak and going out because there's less people around. And I'm always walking with 2 dogs, and I love it. But, you know, trying to keep that social isolation or whatever you call it. Well, even the supermarkets are closed today. So lately I come past here and there's a big queue all the way along here. People waiting to get into the supermarket. People with face masks on all over the place. It's such a beautiful day. I'd love to go for a ride up into the hills there. But no, we won't do that. We will just head straight home, get into our bubble, maybe take the dogs for a walk later in the day, perhaps around 4 or 5 when everybody else is hunkering down having their dinner. And while there are a lot of us that are still working, truck drivers, train drivers, all sorts. You know, the rubbish trucks still come and collect the rubbish once a week. The people that are really on the front line are the emergency workers and the medical staff. I certainly take my hat off to them. I see that some of the supermarkets are having preferred time slots for emergency workers to get to the front of the queue to get their groceries and things. And I overheard some colleagues saying, well, why shouldn't we get that? We're essential workers. And I thought, you know, go kid yourself. Yes, what we're doing is essential work, but we're not emergency workers. We're just pulling levers or shunting trains, or you know, we're keeping the supply line going. But you can't compare us to an ambulance driver or a doctor, nurse in the hospitals, right at the coal face of this whole nasty thing. My goodness. Are the real heroes, surely. And when I voice that opinion, as I'm wont to do, sometimes I should just keep my mouth shut. But I voiced that opinion, and apart from the person that was bleating about we should be allowed to get up to the front of the queue, everybody else totally agreed with me. This is the main street of the suburb I'm now staying in, West Auckland. It's a nice place, actually. Don't tell my bubble mate I said that. He's a Westie born and bred. I've told him I'll never admit to liking it out here. Southside rules, okay? But actually it's quite nice. They've got the Waitakere Ranges in the distance there, and there's an awful lot of public art around the place, and all sorts of unusual places I've been coming across on my walk. It's great to see. Love it. The dairies are open, the little corner shops, we call them dairies, and they're open today. They're only allowing one person in at a time. Well, we're home. Wake up, neighbourhood. Thanks for coming along for the ride. We will get through this. Thanks for watching.